Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of Mish Mash Mayhem.
Mish Mash Mayhem.
The podcast where we take the schoolyard conversation of, hey, which one of these fictional characters would win in a fight, and we talk about it on a podcast.
That's what this is.
Yes, I have been told that is what this is. Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Wade. Today I'm just Wade.
Just Wade today.
Just Wade today, yeah. It's Thursday.
It is.
Thursday, Wade.
First Wade.
Yeah.
Then it comes after Wade's Day.
It does. It does indeed. So this is episode 6 of Mish Mash Mayhem.
I thought you were going to say like 6 of however many. Like 6 of 12.
Oh, no. I was kind of hoping you'd do the Mish Mash Mayhem bit afterwards, but no matter.
But you do the Mish Mash Mayhem.
Yeah, I know. You do the Die of Death.
The Die of Death, I do.
Yeah, see?
Actually, interesting. My cousin, who has been quite enjoying our podcast, so shout out to him. He asked me if we use effects on our voices for doing that.
No, that's just how we sound.
That's it. I was like, no, we're just is this high quality voice acting
/ low quality mics.
It's basically the same as an effect, isn't it?
It's the same thing. Oh dear. Anyway, so this is episode 6 of Mish Mash Mayhem. In one of these episodes, we will go through both our characters that we have picked from a selection of our finest favourite characters from all around the fictional cosmos. We will go through, first of all, the reigning champion. This week's reigning champion is two-time reigning champion. He's got his mish, he's got his mash. Can he get his mayhem?
His mayhem.
It's Drax the Destroyer. And then we'll go through my character, who is as yet untitled or unknown. I accidentally stole a Dave TV show there. We'll go through their abilities, their strengths, their mental state, their general equipment, and all other sorts of things that are applicable to how well they would fare in a fight to the death. We will then roll the Die of Death.
The Die of Death!
To determine the battlefield that these two patrons shall meet on. At this time, because our entries on the Die of Death are fairly vague, we will then determine all the specifics that are required based on our whims and our feelings right now, and then we shall ensue the battle. As is tradition, we will start with the reigning champion, Drax the Destroyer. Over to you.
Yeah, so Drax the Destroyer, as we did just mention, has won two rounds so far. So he's got 2 of his M's. If he gets his 3rd M at the end of this round, we'll have to retire. And so far, he's been quite a formidable foe, so I'm feeling confident he might do it. He might be our first Hall of Famer.
He might be. A blue bastard. Or green bastard. I keep forgetting.
Green. He's green.
The green bastard. I mean, the green man. It's a family show.
Is it a family show?
And to be fair, bastard isn't too bad.
So Drax the Destroyer first appeared in the Invincible Iron Man number 55 comic in 1973. That means he's been kicking ass for about 50 years now.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite 50 years, but it's close, isn't it?
I could better do any amount of exercise for more than 50 minutes. So kicking ass continuously for 50 years.
I know, he's a badass guy. He had origins as a human called Arthur Douglas, a name which Wade has decided is boring.
If your name was Arthur Douglas and then you became Drax the Destroyer and you looked back upon your life, you'd go, man, that had a boring name.
That's it. But after an encounter with Thanos, he was somewhat destroyed and then rebirthed by Mentor and Kronos in a new powerful body, and they christened him Drax the Destroyer and gave him the sole purpose of destroying Thanos, which is quite the responsibility for one person, because Thanos is a very powerful and evil dude.
Is he that evil? Really?
I mean, he's trying to take over the entire universe. I mean, like, just going for sort of the movies, right, that are coming out currently, you know, like the Infinity Wars movie was, let's get every single Marvel superhero that's been in the MCU to fight Thanos, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I haven't actually seen it yet. I got it for Christmas. I mean, I sort of didn't, but I kind of did. My plan is to watch it this week, but I believe that is what happens.
I watched it fairly recently. The end surprised me because I didn't think it was going to be the end.
But it's kind of a 2-part, but sort of not, isn't it? Because Endgame follows on. Yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people die at the end, but I don't know who they are.
I can tell you exactly 50% die.
Really? That's a lot more than I thought it was. I thought it was like 3 or 4 characters. Blimey. Drax is a very skilled and bloodthirsty fighter. As previously mentioned, he's got about 50 years experience of combat. His general fighting style is, there is the thing I must kill, and I will run screaming at it and stab it until it dies.
Legit tactics.
It is, I think, a legit strategy. If I was sort of built like a tank and had 2 knives as long as my arms, and not quite as long as his arms, as long as his forearms, I would run screaming at things and stab them. I mean, the things that help him do this is the fact that he has enhanced strength and enhanced stamina, which means he can keep stabbing for longer before he gets tired. And he's also got enhanced resistance to pain. So, even if he gets stabbed, he'll be less bothered and will keep stabbing. I feel like there's a very heavy stab theme oriented around Drax. Currently, he is a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy, although the other Guardians do not really trust Drax very much in the comics because he doesn't really care about the fate of the universe, and he doesn't really care about doing good things. All he cares about is killing Thanos. So he's very much using the Guardians to get close to Thanos so that he can kill Thanos.
I want to get close to you. I want to get close to you.
Thanos?
I need more time.
What song is that?
Falling for Soup.
Yeah, it is. You're right. I was like, I knew it. Also, it's really good for him to get close to Thanos because he has the buff that the closer to Thanos he is, the more powerful he becomes.
Buff.
Which I think, if your sole purpose is to kill one person, then getting stronger the closer you are to that person is definitely going to help. It's a handy ability to have.
I mean, some would argue, yes. And by some, I mean everyone.
Right? Say I had to kill you, which I wouldn't because you're a lad. But if I did, like the fact that the closer to you I got, the stronger I became, all it would mean really is that I just wouldn't try to snipe you.
Oh, thanks. An honourable death.
But like I say, I wouldn't kill you because, I've known you for almost my entire life. And therefore, you have done good to my life.
Yeah.
Because had you not, I wouldn't have bothered to still talk to you.
It's reasonable. I wouldn't kill you because if you kill someone you know, there's instantly a reason for the police to investigate you. And also because you're a really cool dude.
Yeah. I wouldn't kill you because of all the genetic evidence, and I suppose you're okay. In the past, Drax has had telekinetic powers and the ability to shoot cosmic blasts of energy, but he doesn't have those anymore.
He doesn't anymore. So sad.
But that's why now he's sort of very much more geared into getting in close. He has no projectile weapons. I suppose he could throw his knives at people if the occasion called for it.
I've had a look at them, and they don't look like throwing knives. I mean, I'm not a knife expert.
Oh no.
But I've seen Ryan Haywood throw a knife into a wall. That is my knife throwing expertise.
Just saying he could throw them if he needed to.
Yeah, he could.
But yes, they certainly are not weighted for throwing. They are weighted for being used as impaling implements. Well, not necessarily impaling, but penetrating, stabbing, the murder device. So yeah, like I say, Drax's primary combat style is run screaming at opponent and stab it. However, if that doesn't work, he is able to think very tactically and skillfully about how to best utilize his knowledge and how to change the tide of combat to his favor. It is just very much his initial instinct is run screaming and stab.
Run screaming.
That's always like his first go, and if that doesn't work, he'll then bother to apply tactics. He's not like a patient person who would do the tactics first.
When has he used tactics like that?
In the comics and stuff, in a few various firefights. Like he's very good at sort of finding gaps in attacks and progressing forward and closing distances and stuff. I'm aware he doesn't do that in films because in the films he is a comic relief character.
Yeah, he is.
And he's much more just brah! Which, like I say, in the comics is usually how he starts the fight. But if that doesn't work, he will then actually apply thought process.
Awesome.
Because, as I say, he has a lot of experience in combat. He knows how to change the tide of combat and he knows how to win fights. He's just initially will rely on the fact that he's just big and strong and stabby.
Strong and stabby.
That is basically Drax summed up. I mean, there is a more in-depth look at Drax in the last couple of episodes, but I don't want to sort of go over all of everything again. But that's sort of how he does things. He runs in, he stabs. If it doesn't work, he'll think things through and more tactically run in and stab.
And think things through. Last week, I gave you a clue, not too dissimilar, because I can never remember what my clues are and I don't write them down. That they were a ruthless leader and a caring sister. And for everyone who knows anyone, of course, I mean, there's no way you ever really know this. It was Cornelia Libritannia, or Princess Cornelia from Code Geass.
Hey, there'll be some people who know Code Geass. I've seen all of season 1.
You should watch all of season 2 as well, man.
I didn't really like season 1 that much, but yeah, okay. I know at least one of the fans who listens to this, and I say fans. I know at least one of the people who sometimes begrudgingly listens to this does know who Code Geass is. So if I say to him that there's a Code Geass episode, he will be more likely to actually listen.
Excellent. Right. Anyway, Cornelia Libritannia. She is the second princess of the Britannian imperial family. That just means that I can't remember how much she is in line. I don't think she's second in line. But she's in line to the throne of Britannia. Britannia being the dystopian ruler of most of the world. One of the 3 superpowers. They're essentially the equivalent of America and England combined, because of course they are.
Yeah, but they rule Japan, don't they?
They don't. Yeah, they rule Japan. Yeah. There's no need to go into too much of her backstory. It's not really applicable. But what is important is that although she's like, a princess, she's also known as the Witch of Britannia and the Goddess of Victory. And those titles aren't unearned. She is incredibly well skilled on the battlefield. One of the great things about her is, unlike most kings or queens nowadays, they seem to sit in their castles and drink tea. They actually go out and fight. I mean, to be fair, there's no major wars going on that involve kings and queens anymore, so it's not really applicable. But nonetheless, she is very much at the forefront of the Britannian armies, being used as one of the epitome of excellent squadrons to be dispatched. So good is her fame and prowess that she is brought into Japan when Zero turns up to try and oust Zero. Zero being the main protagonist, maybe antagonist. He's a bit of both.
The anti-hero of Code Geass.
Yes, the anti-hero. That's a good way to put it. The anti-hero of Code Geass.
He's the main character.
He is. Yeah. So she's brought in to oust him. So typically you see her in her nightmare frame. Nightmare frames are essentially these humanoid mechs which are used throughout the series. Her nightmare frame looks pretty badass and has a giant polearm / spear that she tends to use in battle. And as well as being incredibly versed as a nightmare pilot, she's also incredibly tactician-full. That doesn't make much sense.
Tactful?
Yes.
Tactful.
But tactful isn't the same as being a tactician.
She's good at tactics.
She's good at tactics. And indeed, one of the whole kind of themes that runs through the series, or not necessarily a theme, but one of the things that is very abundantly clear is that Lelouch is really bloody smart. And she is one of the few people who has ever outsmarted him, although this is back when they were both young'uns.
Sorry, how big is Nightmare Frame?
A nightmare... how tall is a nightmare frame stand? 1 sec.
I mean, roughly would do.
Just under 5 meters.
So about 2 people tall. 3 people tall?
I would say more like 3.
Yeah, okay. Is she bringing her nightmare frame?
That is up to us at some point. She won't start in it. Maybe there's maybe if they happen to be in a warehouse, there's access to it if she were to run towards it.
Sure, yeah.
At some predisposed location. But
okay.
Anyway, handily for her, she's also pretty badass hand to hand as well. And indeed, in between the first and second series, in the earlier parts of the second series when she's disappeared, she's actually been going around infiltrating top secret government bases and mostly killing lots and lots of people to try and get to the truth of a mysterious power called the Geass, where she's been shown to be using a sword quite effectively. Granted, that's because the people there are scientists, but she is also...
So she's been going and killing all the scientists in cold blood.
Yeah. Cold-blooded. If people were experimenting on humans and doing really evil things and you killed them, is that in cold blood?
If they can't defend themselves, then yes. I mean, it might be justified, but it's still killing someone in cold blood.
Yeah, it is justified, but it is in cold blood. But as I say, she is good with a sword, and indeed, she has a one of her apparently. I mean, I don't know if I've seen this in the series, but apparently she has it. She has a gunblade,
Cool.
and there's actually a snippet of it. There's a screenshot of it, so like I know it exists. I just don't remember it.
I assume it works the same way in Final Fantasy.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's cool.
It is pretty cool. So she has this gunblade. It's a pretty decently long gunblade.
Yeah.
And she can use this quite effectively. As I say, she's not just skilled in an armor frame, she's also a fairly well trained and reasonable fighter. Eventually she ends up being part of a resistance against all the bad in the world. Oh, how good. That's pretty much a brief summary of Cornelia Libertania.
So she is a really good swordswoman, very clever, knows her tactics, amazing in a fight, has also a big robot with a spear.
Yes, and the big robot also has a gun and what they called, I think they're like Harkon launchers, which are essentially like
a rocket launcher.
Tack grapple hooks is almost what they're like.
Oh, like in Titanfall.
Oh, yeah, sure.
There's a man who doesn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds cool. Just to clarify, does she have both a regular sword and a gun sword?
She probably does have both, but I think she to be honest, I honestly don't know, because the anime doesn't focus much on melee combats. Okay, I'm looking at a picture of her. She just appears to have a gunblade.
So that's what she's going to be bringing to this fight.
Yes.
Gunblades are cool.
It is a cool looking gunblade. Let's go with gunblade. Just the gunblade. Let's go with that. And maybe some British decorum.
Did you not get enough of that in episode 3?
No, that wasn't enough. We need more British Japanese characters. Or are they Japanese British characters?
Yes, they are.
Oh, which one are they? British Japanese or Japanese British?
Japanese British, because they are Japanese. They're made in Japan, but they are British.
Excellent.
So they're Japanese British characters.
Yes.
That is cool.
Right, you ready?
Yeah.
For
what?
The Die of Death.
The Die of Death. Yeah, keep on rolling.
Do you want to kiss my lucky egg?
No, I want you to roll the Die of Death. Oh wow, we're going to be having this fight by the fires of Mount Doom.
The fires of Mount Doom.
Sort of, where Frodo and Gollum fought.
Yes. I was going to say, the only visual representation I've ever seen of this is in the films. Like,
yes.
I didn't read the entire books, so all I know is that it's essentially a single platform of rock that goes into the middle of the volcano.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I did read the whole books, but I can't remember them. They were awful books, and I hated it. But I did read it all.
It's reasonable.
Because don't get me wrong, right? Because before everyone has outrage, Tolkien is a great world creator, and the story is good and stuff. He is just a bad storyteller.
I mean, as far as I can remember, most of his story was the rocks were grey and old.
Oh, that's it.
And cracked.
It's what's referred
and covered in moss. And really well carved. They were really well carved into wonderfully carved shapes. Excellence.
Yes, that was it. It's what's referred to in the industry as purple prose, where it's just loads of excessive description that isn't necessary, and just pads out the book in an incredibly boring way.
I wonder if you kept some of the description in, but if someone went through and rewrote The Lord of the Rings to get rid of all the unnecessary description, how long the books would actually be?
I mean, there'd probably be like the length of The Hobbit, which was a good book that I enjoyed. Okay,
so are people starting inside Mount Doom? And more importantly, does one of them have the One Ring?
No, neither of them have the One Ring.
Okay, that simplifies things. Has the One Ring just been thrown into Mount Doom? I assume not.
Yeah, Frodo and Sam are just leaving.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Does it make a difference?
No, it'd be absolutely it does. I mean, what happened immediately after the ring went into Mount Doom? The entire thing exploded.
Oh, did it? Oh, in which case Frodo and Sam haven't got that.
Oh, good. It wouldn't be a fight. It would be a flee. So I guess what's going to happen, and I guess Drax has to start inside there, tradition that the victor is the one who starts at the location. So I don't know whether he's sitting, dangling his legs over the side like an idiot.
No, he's throwing Thanos into Mount Doom.
How he's got to that position, I have no idea. That does imply that he's just had a fight, but we're going to assume that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Cornelia Libertania walks in through the misty, steamy doors. There are no doors onto the long walk. How long is this one? Let's Google it. Mount Doom inside, because this is kind of important. How long the platform is, but it's probably not going to tell me, to be honest. Okay, if I look at the video though, we can use educated guesswork. Right. How long do you reckon that corridor is?
30 meters.
30 meters, done.
What else is 30 meters to give us some clarification?
Blue whale?
Is it 30 meters?
I don't know. Yes, genuinely, a blue whale is up to 29.9 meters.
Cool. All right. So it's as long as a whale. I'm okay with that.
Which is absolutely no better for visualizing.
No, I'm happy. I'm sold. They are battling in something as long as a whale.
As long as a blue whale. She appears at the door. Again, there is no door. It's just a really well carved archway. And she's like, Drax, I am here for you. Except she sounds more feminine. Except not quite that feminine, because she is a masculine feminine. She's a badass. As ruthless as she is pretty, for the most part, law-abiding. So I don't think she's going to shoot him in the back straight away. That'd be a bit cruel.
At least for the purpose of starting this fight. You know, it's unfair if she instantly just comes in and shoots him in the back, he dies, and she leaves. So, yeah, so she'd be like, would she try and arrest him? Is that more her deal?
No.
Okay.
No, she's not stupid. She knows she's come here to fight this man who's dangerous. She's not just going to be like, don't put your arms behind your back. Don't throw me into this lava.
No.
Oh no, what a loser I am. Joke's on me. Oh dear. So yeah, burst in. Drax, I'm here for you. But not in the good way. Not in the supportive way.
Drax would turn round, see her.
Turn around.
But yeah, Drax would see her and then draw his knives.
Ooh. Cornelia draws her gunblade.
And shoots at him.
Yes.
There isn't much room to dodge side to side. It's quite a narrow path.
It looks like it's about... I mean, there's enough room for, like Frodo and Gollum Nobbins. They have a good squabble up there, don't they?
Yeah, this pathway that you have found, where Elrond and whoever the man was called, Isildur, I think.
It's not important.
Where they are, that is like I remember. I don't think that is where Frodo and Gollum were. I thought they were much more on the side of a mountain.
Sam and Frodo climb up the side, but then they go inside, and then they have their squabble on the tongue at the end of that.
Do they?
Which is, if the camera was facing the other way, you'd just see like a round platform that is a bit more rocky.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take your word for it. I'm no Lord of the Rings expert.
Neither am I, but...
That's fine. Well, my point stands. Drax is a big guy and would probably take up most of that, like in width, for it is quite narrow. So my thinking is he would probably try and roll under the shot forwards.
Okay.
That way it's both a dodge and closing the gap. Then he would come out of that roll sprinting and shouting in the way that he does. Just, bah! Bloodthirsty rage.
Is that what he's screaming?
Yes. That's also more how I imagined the rock to be, yeah.
Yeah, that's the end of it. So it's what? 3 meters wide?
Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't think that you could roll sideways safely.
Absolutely not, no. I'm not saying you couldn't roll sideways and survive, but the risk that you couldn't roll sideways safely. To be fair, I don't think you could do anything safely in Mount Doom, can you?
No. Clues in the name, really.
You were doomed to fail from the beginning. Why was I doomed? You went to Mount Doom! Silly boy. Oh, right, so.
So Drax is running at her, screaming, knives ready.
Or shot. Subtle stepping back, planning what's going to happen next. Because she doesn't know what's going to happen next. There's a big green man who is often blue when I'm talking about him, running towards her. And she's shooting at him, and he managed to avoid one of the first bullets in the interest of fairness.
So she's retreating.
Yeah, but not like, I think, subtle steps back. I don't think, it's not going to be like turn around and run down the corridor. That's just dumb.
Okay. So she's sort of backing away, like still looking at him.
Oh yeah, and firing shots off.
Yeah. You see, the thing is, I think he'd try and roll again. But eventually
Yeah.
she'd wise up and just firing like 2 shots up and 1 shot down or something, especially if she's clever. And he doesn't have any choice, does he?
No, and she's an unexperienced marksman.
Yeah.
But equally, I don't think a bullet's going to kill Drax.
No. I mean, I think...
Not one.
No. And where he's got heightened pain resistance, I think he is very much going to kind of just get annoyed more than hurt by it, at least to start with.
I mean, I'm not a being shot expert because I've never been shot, nor have I studied biology, psychology, arms, not as in like the ones I have, but as in the ones that America has. So I don't know, but I imagine that being, let's be honest, if you're probably gonna, he's a moving target, probably gonna catch him somewhere in the kind of chest area. That's the most likely place. It's the biggest area to aim for. It would probably still hurt a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would hurt. But, I mean, it wouldn't hurt enough to slow him. If anything, he'll just get more angry, fed up. But, I must stab you.
Maybe. I don't know. Probably, yeah. But probably certain for the first couple of bullets. It's like when What's His Nugget gets shot with arrows. Boromir.
Yeah.
Old ring dude who has his whole entire good guy, bad guy cycle and then redemption arc in half an hour.
Well, it was Sean Bean. He had to die.
Or Sean Bean. What's your favourite way that Sean Bean's died?
Oh, absolutely in the latest Hitman game, because I killed him.
I haven't seen the film myself, but there's a film where he gets pushed off a cliff by a herd of cows who also fall off the cliff.
That's ridiculous. Leave in the comments for this video your favourite way that Sean Bean has died.
Back to the fight.
So Drax has been shot, but if remind me of what her name is, Princess Death Angel? Cornelia. If she's walking backwards while shooting and Drax is sprinting forward, he's going to be on her.
Yeah.
So he's been shot a couple of times, but he might have stabbed her.
Well, I mean, she isn't dumb, right? So
no,
when he gets close, she's not just going to let him stab it.
No, she's going to then switch to using her gun blade.
As a blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, switch from gun mode to blade mode.
Sure, so they're now going to go into quick swapping blows between each other. She's like, he's like, "Bah!"
Yes. I imagine she'll just go for a kind of defensive to start.
Yes. Well, this is what I can say. How strong is she?
Well, I mean, she's not as strong as a giant green man.
No, that's it. So if he just starts beating on her sword with knives, is she going to break her guard?
Well, I imagine she would be surprised by his strength and probably realise very quickly, aka after like 1 or 2 blows, that she's not going to be able to win a defensive struggle by purely defending. She's going to have to use some manoeuvres to get an upper hand.
Yes.
But that's okay because she's fairly decent. I don't think she's gonna. It's just how much of a surprise those first couple are gonna get. How strong is Drax supposed to be if you were to equate it to an amount of humans? Because obviously there's no Cornelia isn't supernatural in any way.
No.
So let's assume that because she's really good, that she is the kind of strength of a reasonably strong male, rather than which would be like a really, really strong female, but not like a weightlifting female, because that's a different kind of strength.
Drax is super soldier strength.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I think it's reasonable that how muscly does he look?
Very.
Okay, so he isn't like unexpectedly strong. He's just very strong. Do you know what I mean?
Beastly strong, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but I don't think Cornelia would be too surprised, but at the same time, I don't think she'd be able to cope with the first blow. But it would be defensive, so it's not going to stab her or anything. But I imagine that she's going to be caught off guard for a brief moment while this powerful knife comes down, ching, and bashes her guard blade out of the way, where she was expecting to maybe hold a bit of resistance, and probably manages to.
Oh wait, sorry.
Just about.
I found another thing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going back to him being shot. His skin muscle is about as durable as Iron Man's suit.
Oh the hell, that's ridiculous.
That's like his pain threshold sort of thing. So obviously he'll get shot and it will hurt, but I mean he'll be able to shrug it off relatively easily.
Oh right, so it's not actually his skin is as tough as Iron Man.
No.
It's that if he was shot, he would feel the equivalent pain as if Iron Man was in a suit and it got shot.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, admittedly, this is using the film as so take a big pinch of salt.
Okay, yeah.
So that's what I mean. So things will happen to him, but he is relatively unfazed by it, although it will over time wear him down. So if she shoots him like 50 times, he'll be like, "Fuck, I've been shot 50 times."
There is not enough runway for that.
Well, that's it. But once or twice, and he's going to just keep going.
Cool. Anyway, yes, I think that first blade comes down, strikes a defensive sword, and she is surprised by how strong it is, but at the same time isn't like caught completely off guard. Just wasn't necessarily expecting to break the defense. But quickly realizes that she can obviously use a bit of momentum against him and maybe take, although she might get bashed a bit, I think she'll be able to move out the way in a defensive manner enough to not get completely wrecked by a second blow coming in. Probably just get either grazed or like hit by the arm or the shoulder instead of the blade as she does a spin round the side.
Sure. How fast is she?
Pretty anime fast.
So very fast. Because I'm sort of thinking she would probably know now her only chance is keeping distance and outmaneuvering him.
I'm pretty certain there's a scene where she doesn't get shot by guns.
What? Because she just matrixes around.
Well, I mean, it also doesn't help that they have terrible aim. But
because I think that's going to be it, isn't it? Is if Drax can catch, she's dead. But if she can sort of keep moving and stay away from him and slowly wear him down.
I think what she needs to go for is what's that? There's a martial art where you use your opponent's momentum against them.
Capoeira.
So, sure, that one. So I'm not saying she's an expert in that, but what I'm saying is
I don't know, a lot of it, or like jiu-jitsu.
The platform's quite narrow.
Yes.
Right? So I think you're correct if Drax gets a hold of her, it's not going to be good, especially as she won't be able to use her gun blade at close distance because it's quite long. I mean, as a gun.
Yeah.
And even if she did, it probably wouldn't be that effective. But if she can get a clever trip in or something, the platform is not very narrow. Sorry, no, it's very narrow. The complete opposite of is not very narrow.
Yeah. So
it could spell a untimely
demise. But similarly,
But it's a high risk, high reward because equally, if she's going to be at the edge, all it needs is one mistake and one push, and there she goes.
That's it. If he makes contact.
But she's a confident lady. Mm-hmm. She'll give it a go.
Okay.
She'll take the risk. She's got no choice.
So this is her thing. So she's going to dodge, get round him, which will be already tricky. But I think she can do it.
Yeah. Probably try and take a couple of sneaky shots as his momentum carries him a bit further down.
Yeah, so she'll put a couple of shots in his back, which again will just make him more angry. And then possibly the more angry he gets, the less thinking he does because he's just like,
yes. I mean, arguably that's better for her.
Oh, anyway, absolutely, yeah.
He's a bit angrier, yeah.
So what, you then think she's going to try and bait him into the lava?
Well, she's got to. If she stays in the middle of the platform,
yeah,
and her plan fucks up, she falls to the floor and Drax falls to the floor or doesn't.
More importantly,
and then it's really bad.
Yeah, and he'll just push her and kick her off into the lava.
Yeah, it's lose-lose. Whereas if you're at the edge, she can barrel out of the way into the middle, and if it goes wrong, Drax just doesn't fall in.
Yeah.
It's a calculated idea. So as Drax barrels past, maybe she gets bunched a bit, takes a couple of blows, and goes to swish near one of the sides. Her excellent purple flowing hair looking really badass in the lava. It's not in lava, but
in the light of the lava. That's the other thing, right? Again, Drax's stamina will help him, but doing all of this in that heat, she'd get tired quickly. So she needs this fight to be over.
Yes,
because she would be sweating.
Yes, it's not like
sweating lady.
It's not a horrifically debilitating environment, which is surprising, because most of the other people do fairly well there. But it isn't ideal. It's probably like a hot summer's day, a really hot summer's day, a very hot summer's day. For those of you who don't live in England, it's like a summer's day.
Genuinely, the hottest I've ever been was when I went to Italy in July.
I remember nearly getting heat stroke in America. I was warm.
Oh man, never mind that actually. Yeah, the hottest thing. Seriously, Florida, sort it out. The airport when I went was made of glass. It was actually a greenhouse for people. Oh my days.
Oh, the Manchester airport's the same. There's a glass tunnel between two of the terminals.
Yeah, what's up with that?
so stupid. Like you walk through in winter, you're like, oh, this isn't too bad, and you walk through in like summer, like with my offshore bag, and I'm just like, oh, why? And then you go to the check-in, and they're like, well, can I pat you down? And you're like, I'm so sorry, I'm profusely disgusting. And they're like, it's okay. I've got to do this to everyone.
We patted down, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so is she going to run right to the far end?
No, I wouldn't have thought so, because running to the edge of the platform just means getting outsped and then have to stop and all that. I think just...
So she's going to go to a left or right?
Yes, that would be my guess.
Okay.
I wouldn't have thought she retreats too much, because Drax is fairly capable of stopping himself. I'd imagine it's just the rotate round, maybe a meter or two back from where she originally was, and then the distance would be that plus Drax's stopping distance.
If she's going to be really clever and such, the faster he's going, thus the greater distance between the two, the more likely he is to barrel. But
equally, people are really good at accelerating, and he'll probably get to his top speed in about 3 steps.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you've ever run before.
I mean, I try not to.
But you could normally get to your top speed really, really quickly. We're really good at accelerating.
6 or 7 steps away from him, then? Does that sound like a reasonable distance?
Yeah.
So 7 steps away?
Yes.
Okay. So Drax is going to turn around. He's going to be really angry.
I would be.
Grip firmly onto his knife and charge, screaming. In his... Sure. Like that.
Love it. Straight for her?
Yes, absolutely. Straight for her. His plan now is sort of, both knives, one in either side of her stomach. Just...
He wouldn't go for because obviously she's near an edge, he wouldn't go for a charge up and just like a shove off.
Well, I think he'd skewer her and then like push her off the knives.
Oh, well, like stab with both arms and then like use the leg to skewer off into the lava.
Yeah.
That's his golden plan.
I think so. Because,
okay,
he likes stabbing. And let's be honest, two stab wounds probably kill most people anyway. They'd just be a horrible death. The fact that you can then sort of shove her off into the lava.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that would definitely be his battle stratagem.
Yeah, there's also the thing that, I guess the stabbing just sort of ensures it. If he went push and for whatever reason it didn't work, he hasn't done anything. If he goes for a stab and then can't push her, at least she's still stabbed.
That's true.
So, yeah, I think he'd go for a stab with intent to push.
Well, when he's going for stabs, is he going for, like, psycho style stabbing down? Or, like, pool style coming in? Like, if you're taking a shot with pool? Or psycho stab?
Pool, I guess, in that analogy.
Yeah, and then he's going to obviously try to go double thrust, an upward motion thrust.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Followed by a swift kick.
Yeah. It's good to get these things down.
It would look really cool.
It would look really cool. Meanwhile, her plan, Cornelia, the Britannia, is going to be some kind of either catch him on the leg with the sword, like wait till the last minute, try and judge his, I say minute, I mean like moment, because it's going to be way less than a minute.
Yes.
Wait till the last moment, try and get out of the way with maybe get a sword around the leg, and then use momentum to try and cleave him off the edge instead.
Yes.
Those are the two conflicting plans.
So what do you think will happen? I reckon, so Drax will run. If she's managed to dodge around him, there's no reason she can't do it again. Because especially as this time, she's more prepared for the dodge, whereas last time she managed to do it whilst being like, oh my god, this guy's strong.
Yeah.
So I think she'd be able to successfully dodge him.
Okay. Probably therefore gets to sword him, but will she be able to... I mean, he's a big bloke. I know there's a lot of momentum going against him, but...
Oh, this is it. I think ultimately her attack won't matter. It's whether or not Drax just runs off himself.
Yeah.
Which would look fucking stupid. But I think might happen because he would put his all into every single attack. It's part of the way he does things.
Yeah.
He wouldn't not run at her at full speed. And if she's right on the edge and then all of a sudden wasn't, he'd be committed to the thrusting forward motion of the stab.
Yeah.
And I think he'd just overbalance himself.
So he charges forward. A graceful side turn with a slash that realistically
Probably misses.
does some superficial damage or misses, but makes her look like
She did something. Yeah. She'll go home and be like, "Hey everyone, I killed that guy."
Oh, I don't know. Like Drax, like obviously doesn't have his stopping block anymore. That was a squishy lady, and
Squishy lady
goes for stuff. He's obviously when she moves, he's going to have a bit of reaction time to start slowing down. I do think he'll probably go off the edge, but equally, I think he'll have a chance to grab onto the edge.
Okay. With one hand or two?
Well, because she was standing by the edge, right, and they came into the middle. It's a shallow angle. It's not like he's running 90 degrees off.
Yeah.
So it's like you fall off a very tall wall while walking along it.
Yeah.
You've got a chance to grab round, and he's not like undexterous.
No, not at all. He's very dexterous,
and he's definitely strong enough to catch himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I reckon I don't know whether he'd be able to do one hand or two. I imagine it would just be one.
But he could pull himself up from one-handed because immensely strong.
Yes.
So my question to you: if he's grabbed a hold at the edge with one hand, have his knives gone in the lava?
Right. Yeah. So I think if he'd probably have to let go. He'd have to let go of the knife of the hand that he grabs with. Right.
Yeah. But you would never not try to grab the edge with both hands because that would be better. I'm sure that's what you would try and do.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah.
So he's probably let go of both.
Yeah, he probably has.
So, I mean, it's just a case of has one of them or both of them managed to stay on the path as he swung round, or?
I imagine they've both probably dropped.
Okay.
Because his momentum was going away from the edge.
Yes. So then my next question is, will Drax try and pull himself up, or from hanging, will he just swing his other arm around to grab her and pull her down?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me stand up. Standing up makes questions easier. But
no, you're miming all your actions, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
So yeah, she's got turn, and she'll be facing towards him, but would be a distance as he grabs on.
Yeah, but it's not a big path.
No, but she would. I would absolutely guess that if he's grabbed on, he's pretty capable of lifting himself up, but lifting yourself up it's not the fastest of tasks. It's not something you could just be like, done. She's still equipped with a sword. I think she would absolutely try to dunk on his hands to try and make him let go, because she doesn't, she's shot him a couple of times and he's still run, but he is a big burly man.
Yeah.
I don't think she appreciates his level of
physicality.
Yeah, and low shooting him might be. I don't think she's far enough away for shooting to be the best idea. I think she'd go for a thing because a sword to the back of the hand. Ow! Let go.
Yeah. Dare I say it? I think that
Yeah,
she would slice at his hand that's on there.
Yeah.
Obviously, he would see she's going to do this, but not be able to do anything about it. So that hand would get sliced. With his other hand, despite the fact it would hurt like hell, he would probably just grab the sword and then yank. So he would fall.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, so he would fall into the lava, but I think he would pull her in too, and I think they might both die.
so it's got for joke. Let's pretend it's in the left hand, just for the sake of argument.
Sure.
And this sword's come in. It won't have cut completely through his hand, but maybe it's like halfway and it bloody hurts. And he just grabs onto the sword and yanks. That sword, she's going to come towards him. Yeah.
She would definitely go off. I guess it depends on whether or not he could still hold on despite the pain of being sworded in that hand because of his pain resistance.
Oh, it's a tough one, isn't
it?
But
I think at this point she is definitely dead because he's going to pull, and that will get rid of her because he's so much...
Her only saving grace would be to let go of the sword really quick.
I don't think you could react that quickly.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough. She's going to be quite close to the edge. I don't think it's going to be easy to do.
No.
So I agree that she's going over. If he's done a yank rather than like a lob, then she's going to be barreling towards him. So she might even hit him.
Yeah.
As they're going down, which would probably mean they're both going.
Okay. I think that's our answer then.
I think if it was like more of a, like a, when I'm saying a lob, I'm imagining if you hold both arms out in front of you, right? And one of them's obviously staying still. The other one does a full arc behind you. That's like a lob.
Yeah.
But like a yank, I'm thinking you just literally pull straight towards your core.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of a yank.
Yeah, I think a lob would have been okay, but a yank is a sacrificial move.
Okay, so then that brings me to my next point. Is it a draw because they've both gone in the lava, or does Drax win because she will hit the lava first?
I don't know.
Because part of me thinks it ending on a draw is a bit rubbish, and also it would be nice to have a first Hall of Famer, but I don't want to seem like I'm being really biased towards Drax. I just want clarification. And also, if once we know that this is either a draw or one person has won because they died slightly later, we will then have this set as a clarification in the rules in case a future event like this happens. We will make sure it's consistent.
Yeah, okay.
I guess basically what I'm saying is, do we need to have a winner?
I mean, I don't think we need to have a winner.
Uh-huh.
But equally, I wouldn't have a problem with like counting it both ways. Do you know what I mean? This would count both as a victory and a loss. So if pretend Drax was only on one win,
yeah,
new entry, doesn't matter. But as he's at the end, he still goes into the Hall of Fame.
Okay,
for killing 3 opponents.
Yeah, all right.
Rather than the Hall of Fame being for surviving, if it's for killing, which is more in theme anyway.
Yeah, so he'll go into the Hall of Fame
for 3 kills rather than 3 wins.
Okay, I think that's a fair compromise.
And that will define the Hall of Fame.
Okay, man, that was an intense fight.
I mean, it was in Mount Doom. What did you expect?
Oh, yeah. And Doom happened.
Oh, she could have been the princess, but she got thrown into the fires of Mount Doom.
That is just a fantastic sentence. I want that on a t-shirt.
would it just say like she could have been the princess on the front, and then on the back it's just like a charred body, and she got thrown to the fires of Mount Doom.
No, because it would all be on the front, and then on the back it would be like Mish Mash Mayhem.
Ah, yes.
You know, obviously.
I feel that's like a
not that we do Mish Mash Mayhem t-shirts, but I mean, you know, unless people want them, then let us know.
Let us know. We will make you one that you can buy.
Yeah. We're already doing this podcast for free. If people want a t-shirt, let us know, and we'll look into it.
We can come up with some designs.
Absolutely. We'll just put on different quotes.
She could have been a princess, but she got thrown into the fires of Mount Doom.
That's it. I mean, part of me still wants an Accio laughter. Or Accio the Moon.
Muggles.
Accio Dead Muggles would also be a good t-shirt.
There are so many good Accios. Accio t-shirt.
Yes. Although we would potentially not put Accio on a t-shirt because it's a trademark. I suppose the same would apply to Mount Doom. We'd have to find interesting quotes without using trademark.
I mean, I think you could get away with it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, that was an interesting one. I mean, definitely if there'd been much more energetic outputs, Cornelia would have been going at a greater and greater disadvantage just simply because Mount Doom is hot.
That's it, yeah. If it had lasted longer, she certainly would have tired quicker.
Yeah.
But that being said, if there'd been a bit more space for maneuverability, she could have just outmaneuvered him.
It's true, yeah. Equally, there's a bit of a double-edged sword, really, because like the narrowness of it gave an opportunity, but it only gave that opportunity.
Yes, and unfortunately, he was just able to resist pain and be so brutally strong that he managed to flip that possibility.
Yes. I mean, a moment of choosing what seems like the right option and not quite fully understanding that that man is going to grab that sword.
Yeah.
Because he's going to resist it. Because, I mean, honestly, if I saw, I don't know, like the world's strongest man hanging off the fires of Mount Doom and I was trying to kill him and I had a sword in my hand, I would go for his hand with the sword.
Absolutely. I think she did everything she could in the situation.
She did. Shame. Yeah. But there you go.
That was it. So, really exciting then for episode 7. It's going to be the first time it's episode 1. We're going to have 2 new characters.
Oh my god. You're crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so as is tradition, for the excitingly 2 new characters, we need to leave a clue to let you know who they are. So the clue for my character is he is one of the most iconic Xbox characters, and the game he is from potentially could be argued to have redefined that genre. Is that a good clue, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Also, I'm really excited to be doing this character. This character that I'll talk more about it, like obviously next episode, but was also a fan suggestion. So remember, if you do want to suggest characters you want to see in this, go to our Twitter at podcastmmm and suggest them.
Someone suggested these on my list, but I didn't roll them.
Oh, maybe next time.
Oh, next time. Oh, excuse me. Right, the clue for mine. She is one of the. Yeah, so now she. She is one of the servants. Servant. It doesn't mean what you think it means. Who participated in the Holy Grail War?
Oh, exciting!
Which has happened many a time. A historical figure fought back for the Holy Grail War. She is the once and future king. Yes, she is the king.
Sure.
Get over it. That's sexist. It's this battle I got here. I mean, I could go with more, but
no, that's fine.
Maybe it reveals too much. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, so that was episode 6. Obviously, I just mentioned the characters, but also, if you go to our Twitter at podcastmmm, you can tell us how you thought that fight would have got. If you thought we did anything right or anything wrong, let us know. You can also go there and suggest places that you want people to battle. We've had our first fan submission of those recently, which was cool.
Maybe they're in a birthday card.
Yeah. I mean, still nobody suggested my mum's house. That hasn't come up yet. I don't know if they will, but you know. Or what else can you do? The other thing I was wondering, public, let us know, would you rather we were somewhere else? People message me on Facebook about this. Admittedly, only people I know, I understand. But if you would like a Mish Mash Mayhem Facebook page, let us know, and then we can make that. Or any other social media, tell us, and we can look into it. Or apparently T-shirts. If you want T-shirts, again, look into it. I'm not making any promises, but I don't know. Let us know how we can be a better podcast for you. Please tell us. I think that's everything we've got to say.
This has been brought to you by a Tinker Tailor Salt and Sponge Productions.
Yeah.
You can go to tinkertailorssaltandsponge.com to view all their podcasts, including this one, and many others.
Including Dr. Wilco's campaign for better beverages, about some interesting cocktails. Or I think a very relevant one to listen to right now would be the Unparliamentary Language, which is a politics podcast.
This, of course, assumes you're a British and know what on earth is going on with Brexit. Oh, wait, no one knows what on earth is going on with Brexit. Hashtag topical satire.
There is a lot going on with Brexit at the moment, and that would probably be the podcast to at least begin to explain it to you.
Yeah, they have a lot more knowledge of politics than I even care to try and think about.
Yes. So thank you for listening. As always, I hope you've enjoyed it. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you didn't say catch you all late.
Oh, yeah, shit. I mean, catch you all late.
Akio catchphrase.
Akio catchphrase.
That's how episode 4 ends.
What, Akio catchphrase?
Yeah, because you also forgot that the catch your lates.
Oh, it's so dumb. I love it.